What is going on, Internet? Today, I got the Platinum Trophy in LEGO Horizon Adventures, and I'm excited to share my story with you all about how I achieved it today. Like many other LEGO titles, this was a fun and whimsical experience that may have flown under the radar for a lot of you, so I can't wait to show you some of the game and the trophies during my journey. Without further ado, let's get into it. Our journey begins with a prologue, informing players of what has become of the world in the Horizon universe. The world is shared between humans, or what's left of them, and giant robotic machine-like animals in the far-off future. We learn of a tribe leader named Tirsa that finds a baby girl in a mountain. The villagers in this tribe are weary of the child and don't want to help raise it, so they put her off onto an outcast hunter named Rost. He ends up naming her Aloy. As she gets older, she trains with Rost and is gifted something called a focus.
Looks like it goes here.
That was found next to her when she was a baby. Upon putting this focus on, she's able to see things you can't see with the naked eye, such as weak points for some of the machines and hidden things in the world. Aloy is preparing for a trial, and if she wins, she can be accepted by the tribe that originally outcast her, and she can ask the tribe leader that discovered her questions about who her mother is and how to potentially find her. Before we head over, though, we hear commotion coming from Mother's Heart, which is where the tribe lives. After rushing over with Rost, we see Tirsa and others captured and being taken away by some bad guys. It's at this moment that we try to head back to Mother's Heart, and we unlock our first trophy of the game for completing the prologue.
Yes!
It's at this point that we need to go and rescue some of the members of the tribe, starting with Varl, who is the son of a war chief. How this game works is that we have 4 chapters, or regions if you want to think of it that way, with about 5 to 6 missions in that region that award us with a gold brick. Now, we're going to need to accumulate 50 of them for a trophy later in the game, but for now, that's the main gist. Each chapter can be completed in a little over an hour, if even, and there are plenty of trophies to get for completing the story, so let's get hunting. As I said though, we're off to save Varl and start our first official mission. Now, for better or worse, each mission in this game is kind of similar to the other, where you'll do some exploring and drop down into this little arena area, where you have to fight a few waves of either cultists or machines or both. There will be random rare weapons and tools that you can use at your expense, which can then aid you in combat. After doing some exploring, we come to see some tribe members locked in a cage by some cultists who are at least kind enough to give them the occasional bathroom break.
And that's the last bathroom break you're getting!
Hey, we have rights, you know.
We decide that this isn't an Amazon warehouse. These people should be able to use the bathroom whenever they want. So it's time to go save them and protect their bathroom rights. We kick some cultists and machine butt and free the prisoners. Of the notable people we save is a villager named Teb, who is a tailor and will give us many suits and outfits that we can pay for throughout the journey. We graciously accept his offer for a fresh new look and collect our first official golden brick, which gives us our second official trophy called There's Gold in Them Bricks. With Teb now returning to the village, this brings up a new mechanic in the game, where we can customize the village to our heart's content, as well as unlock many outfits for Aloy and all the characters that we will be able to play. They only cost a small amount of studs that you get gracious amounts of throughout the game, with most costing under 1,000. We then hear town gossip of a tall creature that was sighted, and we go to complete our next mission to find out which creature it is. We come to learn that it is a creature called a tallneck, which is a large mechanical giraffe-looking thing. Now, this machine serves an important purpose in Horizon Zero Dawn, where it clears the fog of war in the main game. In LEGO, however, we get a few missions where we majestically tail the creature, and after mounting it and jumping on its head, we get rewarded with a gold brick. We also again get rewarded with a trophy for finding and completing our first tallneck. We start to unlock an upgrade tree, which is represented in the game by a literal tree. And I have to say that LEGO games always seem to have that top-notch humor that I always appreciate.
No one will respect you if you don't stand up for yourself.
Oh, this from the kid who can't take 2 steps without falling on his ass! Yeah, I see you out there pretending to be a hero.
There's quite a few cool upgrades in here, but I'll just pretend like I benefited from most of these and that I totally didn't forget to take advantage of this through a majority of the game. Back into the story now, and we end up rescuing Varl, and he tells us about this tree-hating, excessive sun-loving cultist named Helis. Varl warns us that he's been trying to hunt us down, but we have plans of getting to him first. After rescuing Varl, we get yet another gold brick and a trophy, which is our 4th overall for rescuing and unlocking Varl as a playable character. We immediately follow up with a cutscene of Rost and Aloy finding Tirsa, who is looking a little rougher on the edges, even for her age. Rost goes flying in the air after being next to some explosive barrels, and we're introduced to the cult leader Helis himself. He has a super evil plan of filling the world with sunshine. And it was at this moment that I was worried that this game may be a little too dark for me. We're also introduced to a giant flame ball named Buried Shadow at the moment, who is the main bad villain of the game. Rost, in heroic fashion, saves Aloy from yet another explosion, sacrificing himself.
Guys? No, Rost! No!
But he doesn't actually die per se. Well, he does, but he also just becomes the narrator of the story.
And that, in case you were wondering, is how I got the narrator job.
After doing some more exploring and arena fighting, we are finally able to rescue Tirsa, and with that get another trophy for completing the chapter, Rescuing the Nora. Tirsa then takes us to an area where the old world existed and shows us a hologram of our mother named Elizabeth, who is using the latest hologram technology. We are given a hollow box to open once we get back to the village, and upon opening it, we are told that Elizabeth made a special weapon to destroy the giant flame orb, but it's broken up in pieces in the world, and we're gonna need to go up to the mountains and find the next piece.
It's good to be back home.
I'll lay off on some of the story for a bit, as the next good chunk of the story is a lot of filler, as we're trying to build this weapon. But upon completing yet another level, we get Erend as a playable character, and get a trophy for getting all playable characters. We get into a boss fight with this T-Rex looking machine called a Thunderjaw, which gives us a part of the weapon we need to defeat the big bad boss of the game, and it's a flower? We then collect the metallic flower, get our gold brick, and get yet another trophy for completing the chapter, Thunder in the Mountains, as well as getting a trophy for completing the first cauldron. As I continue my quest to rebuild our village here, I start skimming through the catalog of roofing that you can do to add some customization and flavor to the village. Upon span buying everything I can with my wealth of studs at my disposal, I unlock the 9th trophy already for obtaining 20 roofs or yards. We then have to defeat an evil sawtooth that has been taken over by Buried Shadow. We give it a swift defeat, but Buried Shadow manages to escape, leaving behind yet another gold brick for us to collect.
Hey, come back here!
On top of another trophy for completing the jungle section of the game. Shortly after, I also get 2 additional trophies in rapid succession. One for discovering all gadgets, and think of these as different items that you can use throughout your journey that can be used by any character you're playing as, and we also get a trophy for discovering all rare weapons, which are unique to each playable character. And just like that, we're already halfway through our trophy list. Our journey continues with us trying to stop Helis' evil sunbathing plans by destroying these giant machines that are polluting the area. And these are simply destroyed by doing what we've been doing all game. Do some light exploring, defeat a few waves of enemies, collect some studs, you know the gist of it at this point. We get a little cutscene showing us destroying the polluting machine, followed by an angry video chat from Helis. After calling us some names such as
Shade-loving slugs!
we jokingly hang up on him because we have another trophy to collect for finding and completing 3 different cauldrons. Not too long after that, I unlock a trophy for finding and completing 3 different tall neck levels, and to be honest, most of the stuff that says find in this game for trophies isn't really finding. A lot of this stuff is just literally shown right in front of you and isn't missable at all. My humbleness aside, we get our 14th trophy of the playthrough and are down to just 10 more to collect. After about 3 more missions of doing nothing but destroying polluters, we get our last flower to help us in our journey to defeat the bad guys and restore shade to all of the land. And this is going to help us get another trophy for completing the chapter, Drawing Out Helis. And just like that, it's time to finally face the main baddie of the game, Mr. Buried Shadow himself.
Witness the destruction of all you hold dear.
Wanna bet?
He transforms into this super big bad machine called the Deathbringer, and this fight took me a lot longer than it should have, because I wasn't using the things in the environment to help me, which I was blindly ignorant on, and that takes a lot of his health. But with a lot of patience and a little bit of feeling stupid with how long it took me to defeat him, we successfully do so, getting our last main story trophy called the Buried Shadow. We immediately get a cutscene of Buried Shadow, who is surprisingly still not dead, try and flee to a tower to send corrupt signals across the world to corrupt as many machines as possible. It's time to use our ultimate weapon that we've been working on for most of the game. And it's a giant arrow with a donut attached to it?
This one's for you, Rost.
We triumphantly shoot it into the sky at the Buried Shadow, but it immediately falters and sputters down.
It's not gonna make it!
But with the help of this rubber ducky attached to our arrow, it gives us a huge boost of momentum and sends the enormous arrow right towards Buried Shadow, killing it once and for all, thus saving the day and the world.
Told you humans were tougher than we loved.
And that's our story. But don't you dare go anywhere yet. That leaves us with 8 more trophies, including the platinum to go still. After completing the game, I had a bunch of studs to purchase things with, so I went into the cosmetic shop to buy a whole bunch of outfits. After obtaining 75, I received a trophy for all of my overconsumption. And do you guys remember that skill tree upgrade I told you about earlier? Yeah, like I said, I totally forgot that thing existed. So I continued to do some shopping and unlocked the trophy for unlocking 10 upgrades. Throughout the main story and the quote-unquote post-game, there is a community board in the middle of the village in which you can do these side challenges and quests to earn more gold bricks. These can range from doing random things like killing machines a certain way, or to do certain upgrades to your village, among many other things. Doing these will reward you with additional golden bricks. Completing enough of these unlocked 2 trophies for me. One for collecting 50 gold bricks overall, and another for completing 20 different community jobs. That leaves me with only a few trophies left to go. I quickly ran over to do some more customization and buy more items for my village. Silly enough, as I was playing through the game, I wasn't paying as much attention to this, since I thought they would pop up near the top for newer items, but silly me, I just needed to scroll down a bit and buy more items. This gave me a trophy for unlocking 75 decorations overall. And well, my friends, that leaves us with only 3 more trophies, and definitely the biggest testament to one's sanity in this trophy list for those willing to get the platinum trophy themselves. Overall, this list is incredibly easy to unlock and knock out and won't take too long. At this moment, I was sitting at about 7 hours overall, but these last 2 trophies will, as I said, test your sanity. You have to max out all 4 playable characters in the game, and the biggest problem is that you won't be nearly close enough to the maximum level of 20 by the time you finish the game and do the side battles. This grinding took me nearly 5 hours of just mindlessly grinding the same missions over and over and over and over and over again. As much fun as I had during this game, this was definitely a blemish in what was otherwise an enormously fun time. This took me from a 7-hour completion to over 12 hours completion for these 2 trophies alone. After mindlessly listening to some music and background noise for all that time, I unlocked our final trophies. One named Superhero for max leveling a single character, and about an hour later, the last one for getting all characters to max level. And just like that, the platinum is ours. Thank you all for watching today. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and maybe I convinced you to get the platinum in this game as well. If you're interested in watching me get these trophies live, I stream over on Twitch with my link in the description. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, take care, and happy hunting.